OK, so we have this videos component. And what we need from here is the video ID and the name of the video. So this can be done in the Graph CMS Explorer. Let me just change this to all videos. And let me request this. And this is exactly what we need. So there we go. Not here, here. And let me, so we need to import two things. Import GraphQL from Apollo Boost. And we also need to import query from React Apollo. And const all videos. Too fast. Oh my God, what the fuck? There we go. Equals GraphQL. And just copy all of this in here. Cool. So we have no errors. OK, so now we need to do the same thing that we did for the other one. So let's just open and close this. And no, that's not opening. What am I doing? So query. And we need to pass it the query. That is all videos. And now we need to open and close it. So it's this div that ends here. OK, there we go. Query. OK, so now let's create a function that receives as its parameters. There we go. So receives as a parameter that we need to deconstruct the data, the loading, and the error. Done. And this is what it actually returns. So let me put this in here. And this is an error because I'm not returning anything. So what? No, I'm not returning literally anything here. That's why. Nothing was returned from render. Yeah. That's why it returns an error. So if I just return null, you can return null, but you do need to return something. If I return null and delete this, this is no longer an error. But you do need to return something. If you don't return anything, you'll just like, doesn't know what to do about your stuff. So if you're loading, just return loading. If you bugged out, if there's an error, just return error. You can just return the name of the error. That's what I'm doing here. So just return the entire error. And now we need to map all over the thing. So we need to return all videos, data.all videos, which I can deconstruct from here. So all videos, which is the name in here, which maps perfectly. So return all videos, that map. And in each one of the map, we'll get a video. And for each one, let me just get this and copy it over to the end of this div. Is it? Yes, it is. Nice. And I broke my computer. Wait. There we go. Oh my God. No, go up. Shit. OK, done. Told you. OK. Please don't forget that. I mean, you can. It's your computer. Now you have the video, and the video has a link. So I'm just going to go here and put video.link, which is the video ID. And it also has a name. So I'm going to delete this and put video.name. And yeah, do we get this? Yeah, so we get the first 10 videos. I think I put 10. Yeah, we get the first 10 videos of the thing, and they also play, and you can go on YouTube and all of that stuff. So the next thing that I want to show you before we go for food and coffee is that 90% of the times, you are going to have the same loading and the same error for every single one of your, let me just fork this first. You're going to have the same error and the same loading for every single one of your components. So there is no point in writing all of this stuff in the same, like writing if loading and if error always in every single query that you do. You can create your own query component. I talked about this. Is this the end? Seriously? Is this? Great. So you can do this. There we go. Let me just delete all of this. So we're going to create our own query component so that in the end, instead of deconstructing all of that stuff, we can just get the data. We don't need the loading and we don't need the error. Our query component will do that in the backend. OK, so if I come here, so I'm already importing this query. That doesn't do anything. And if I come here, I can just import. Oh, OK, so that wasn't actually working. So it imports React from React, the first thing that you need to do. And then you can import query from React Apollo. And so basically, we need to export default, a new query component, which will receive any props that you want. And the only one that we actually care about is the children, which is the same thing that the React Apollo client does. And then we get all the rest of the props that we don't really care about. What did you do? There we go. Our defaults, and this will return something. Dude, I got this. OK, cool. Are you done? Yeah, OK, cool. So we need to instantiate the query component that the React Apollo gives us. And in here, instead of just passing query equals props.query, we can just like spread all the props that we get. And if we don't get a query, we'll get the same error. So that works the same way. So imagining that you actually pass it a query, this will get the data, the error, and the loading. So I already created a loading here, which is just a fancy SVG. And I'm going to import it. So I'm going to import loading from dash loading. Don't touch it. This is this, because it's the only thing that we return, so there is no need for the curly brackets. So do this. And in here, we get this. We get the same thing. So we get loading, error, and data. And in here, we return a function. Cool. OK. What? Unexpected token. What? Import load. That was dumb. From nowhere. It's global loading. The world's loading. That loading. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's no errors now. I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong now? OK, so if loading, just return that loading component that you'll see in a bit. If error, I'm just going to say, so if error, no, not else, error. Error, just return, oh no. And the error. OK, cool. So if none of these things happen, that means we have data. So what we want to do is to do the same thing that React Apollo does, which is return the children as a function with the data inside of it. And this means that in here, this thing in here, no, it's not the index, it's the speakers, will only get the data. So this is basically this and this. It's the same thing. So you get the data. And here you can just say data.all speakers. I just deconstruct it automatically. But yeah. And if I just put this over here, reload the thing, you will get a fancy loading. You didn't get a fancy loading? What? Is it too fast? Where's the fancy loading? Oh, that was dumb. I don't know one spotted this. What's wrong with you guys? There we go. Fancy loading. There we go. So the good thing about this is that you would use this component everywhere. You don't need to define any more loadings or any more errors. You define this in one place, and it's done. And so I think like if you don't use the same loading for all of the things, you probably need to speak to your designer, because that's not right. So 99% of the times you will use the same loading, and you will use the same like notification or pop-up or whatever for errors. So this works great. You can also get a new prop in here, which is the error that you want to pass, for example, which also works if you have in different status. So there's been a problem loading your products, there's been a problem loading your something, and it will just return that, and you can put a like error or something in here. So I think it's a slightly more flexible and a slightly more clean way of doing things, and we still get the same results, which is very nice. Yeah. So let's go for coffee and some ice cream. Ice cream. Yay. And now we want to do something that we're going to order this by different things. So if you go to the GraphCMS API Explorer, I'm just going to change this to all speakers. And I'm going to get all speakers and get the name, get the photo URL, and also get the Twitter. And if I run this, I will get the exact same thing. But in here, there's an order by. And if I open this, I can order by several things, basically. And that's so we have this, this dropdown, and we're going to order by these things. In your exercise, this will already be there as well. because like part of the exercise now you checking out what the names of the order things are. So we're going to order by created at ascending, created at descending, name ascending, and name descending. So this means we have to pass parameters into our query component and into our GraphQL thing right here. So we do this by doing this here, and then we need to pass in the parameter that we want. That in this case, it's the order by. So, and the name of the parameter is speakers order by. Speaker order by, sorry. So this is a constant. It's an enum. An enum is something, so speaker order by. So imagine that this is a const is equal to created ascending or descending or something like that. So it's just a series of ors that you give a name to. And this is done by GraphCMS. But you can do this in the backend, or you can do this whenever you want. So this is a variable for the GraphQL query. So what this means is that when we come here and say order by, we pass this. So this means that if you have like a weird name for here, so if this is called like speakers order by example, you can actually give it a different name here. So this variable can fill like 3 or 4 or 5 fields. This is just like a normal variable, and here it's declared like PHP for some reason. But that's it. So this is just a variable that we name, and then we say what type that variable is, what type will it receive, and in this case it's speaker order by. It could be string, integer, whatever you wanted. And then in here, so if we check the thing of the query, we see that we have an order by, all speakers, there we go, order by. So this is where we need to pass it, and we just pass it this variable. So it will receive the value here, and then it will pass it here. Cool. So now we have this dropdown that has this, and what we want to do is change the state. So we'll get the event, and we'll say the value is equal to e.target.value. And then we'll just do a this that set state. E is not a thing. E is a thing now. Nice. And let me just call this order by. And so set state order by is equal to value changed. So if I open this in a new tab and wait 10 minutes. Oh, no, it's actually going faster. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, there we go. That was faster. OK, cool. Nice talk. So if I wait for the React thing, let me just come here to the React thing, connecting to React. And yeah. OK, this has a state. So if I change this now, it will change the state here. So what we want to do is pass this as a variable in our query component. And that is an option that we get here. So variables. So we type variables, and in here we pass an object with all of the variables that we want. So as it's because it's React, an object means you have to put 2, and then you say order by. Let me just copy this. And this is going to be equal to this, that state, that order by. OK, so now if I change this to name ascending. What? Ah, god damn it, son. Let's just assume that's why you didn't do anything. OK, so now if I come here and say name ascending, that's not why you didn't do anything. I knew it. Could not consume error. Nice. What? Reload. Just let me clean this. There we go. No, this has no error. What? Oh, I know the problem. OK. Order by. There we go. So that wasn't connected. If we go, I just do this right now. Why are you making me look bad, dude? This.state.order by, order by, order by. There we go. In the variables. Wait, I think we need to pass. Wait. No, that's not it. What the why is this not changing anything? This.state.order by, this.state.order by. Oh! So, why is this not doing anything? Because I misspelled this part. So, the thing that you can take away from this is that just double check where you name things. So this is order by with, this didn't change it in here, order by. Okay, so now if I change this to name ascending, it will give me all of this weird stuff that people created. Cool. If I go to name descending, you'll see that it will do this descending name. Okay, so the thing that you need to do in here is that created at descending. So this was the last one that were created, basically. Okay, these were the first one that were created. So let me just drag this over here. Okay, so what you actually need to do here, like another way of doing this would be to say const order by equals this.state. And then this will get smaller, and you can just do this, and it still works. So name ascending still works, exactly. Create that. So we can delete this weird stuff by putting something in here, which is a filter. Let me just do that so it makes more sense. Is published true. Okay, so if I go to create name ascending, they're published. Cool. Nice talk. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff here that other people have created on the workshops. So all you have to do is pass in the variables and the variable that you want. It will usually be attached to the state. That's why I use the state in this example. And so you attach this to the value, you change the value in here, and you pass the new state over to here. And as soon as the state changes, it will automatically check that the state changed and check that the query has changed, and will re-render and refetch all of the things. Does this make sense? Yes? Does anyone have any questions about this? Okay, cool, exercise. So there is a variables and query exercise in which, so components, you have the videos thing. And it is filter is published true, okay, order by. So you already have this, which is videos ordered by. All you have to do is the onChange thing. So this should be relatively fast. So you just change this.state.ordered by, and then check that it still works and that it orders by the different things. And yeah, it only gets the first 10. If your computer is running slow, just put the first 5. Yeah, this is still running. OK, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's the last thing in queries. Then we're going to go to mutations. And in there, there's only one exercise. Yeah.
3 and 1. Yeah? 3 and 1.
Yeah, 3-1 exercise. Yeah. Yes. What? Argentina isn't playing shit. They passed by luck. Fuck them. Give me the butt. And it's not like because I like Ronaldo and I don't like Messi. I don't care. I honestly don't care. Go.
How they look like in backend?
Okay. So the variables in the backend are, is this still here? Yeah. Okay, so when you do this, these params can be a variable. That's the thing. So the only difference, let me show this, like, go. Let me explain this better. Wait. Let me start one of these. Oh, this is on the.
We can do it with the result also, yeah?
Hmm?
With the result.
With the parameters?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the parameters. So the only difference, so let me copy, let me see what I have here. I have a mutation. Do I have framework? No. But I have add, oh, new mutation, sorry. Mutation, add framework. And like this says, this receives the name and the get. But you can also do it like this. So add framework. And in here, you pass name is a string. And get is a string.
And get it in params, yeah?
In params?
No.
OK. And then here you pass name is equal to the name variable that you get. And get is equal to the get variable that you get. So like this. And then let me just return the name. Wait, no. Yep, there we go, name. OK, Okay, cool. If you run this, this will give you an error because he has no idea what the fuck this is. So what you do is this query variables here at the bottom. Oh, yeah. My eyes. It's buttons. Okay. So these query variables are how you pass it in the front end. So you open up this, and then you have like name. There we go. So name is equal to, I don't know, cycle.js. And then you have git. I don't know what the fuck that was. And git is equal to https, GitHub. It doesn't matter. OK, so in here is an object, so you do need to pass this. And this is how you're passing them in the front end. And what it's doing is just copying. Imagine that it copies and pastes into here. And it copies and pastes your object into here, and then it runs it. And request failed with the status of 404. Oh, it's an internal server error at the thing. At Heroku, but that's fine. But this is what it does. Does that make sense? Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Defined by the GraphCMS thing, and this is in enum, and
It is made on the backend.
yeah, this is made on the backend. Yeah. So I could come to the backend and define an enum, and this enum, an enum called speaker order by, and this enum will have this, for example. And so enum and pass this, and this will be speaker order by. And this will have this, and then I can pass it like on on the mutation. On one of the inputs could be order, and it will be equal to that speaker order by. That's what they did. Just an enum. An enum is it's just an OR basically. Okay, so the way to actually get the first is always the number that you want. So in here I have variables first 9 and search. The search is just the input that the people type in. Doesn't matter. And you also have this variable called fetch more that comes from the query component. And this fetch more takes, so get more, fetch more. There we go, fetch more. Where is this? There we go. So, yeah, that's the normal query. The normal query gets as a function called fetch more that it's used for pagination. And the variables that it needs are usually first and last, first and after. What after is, it's the ID of the last element that you already have.
So it's already for pagination.
Yeah, this is pagination. This is how the pagination is working on the actual website. And you also have this update query, which is the part that actually updates the query. And so if there is no more, if this is after it runs the new thing, so you get the previous result, and then you concatenate the new result, and this will be updated in the cache automatically. So this update query is for the cache. Cache in the client. The server is already there. You don't need to cache in the server. And if there's no fetch more, it will just return the previous things. So this is how pagination usually works. It's usually with the ID of the last thing. So while I go to the all videos, yeah, the naming is terrible on the actual website. Because I called like the typed videos, and I didn't realize that I had to type it in. Yeah, that's a whole new story. So all videos and length by -1, and I get that ID. And if I go to the website, you can. This is done not on click, but on scroll to bottom. So there is a thing here which is scroll, which is like as this horrible code that if showed, and when it does mount, where is that? So scroll, handle scroll, component did mount, add event listen at this time handle scroll, and when it shows, it just loads the videos. Yeah. So if I go here. And I go to the bottom, it loads, like loading more awesome videos. And yeah, this is usually how it works. It can be done with a click as well. Because it's, I just did it like this, as in a way of making it smoother, I guess. But you can do it with a button that just fetches more. You pass in the variables, and if you want to update it automatically, you pass the update query. That just concatenates the new ones and the old ones. This website is open source. You can check out the code.
Update query is just callback
Yeah. This update query is basically that. It's basically a callback for the, let me go to the talks again. So after it does this, it passes the variables, and the update query is what you want to do with the cache, basically. How do you want to update this? And you return this, which is the cache, which is, so this is basically, so the query component has that thing in data called all videos. And so with the update query, we update that, basically, because that is already saved in the cache. And what we return from this will be updated in the cache. Make sense? Yeah, so we get the prev is what we had, and the fetch more result is what we get from this. Okay. And we just concatenate them both in one array. One giant array. Yeah. Can I go over the solution to this exercise? Okay, cool. So it's the same thing, so I'm just going to come here and say const order by equals event.target value. And this does set state. Set state, I don't know what the fuck that was, equals order by, then I don't need this. And in here, you say variables. Order by, and this, that's state, that's order by. And this should, in theory, work. If I go to name now, yeah, it will start by name. So why are these ones starting with the name thing? Because they have a space. Yeah. So that's why. But it does work. So if I go to name descending, there we go, it starts with a Z. So you configure GraphQL state management. Oh, okay, cool. Does anyone have any questions about the variables? Okay, cool. So let's go to mutations. Coolly. Mutations start. Yes. I like how I screw up live, but I have like the actual end exercises here, and I could just use that instead of being dumb. Okay. What? Done. It's because I changed the names to be actually good names instead of speakers, so that it actually makes any fucking sense. Okay. Okay, so we're getting all the speakers here, and what I want to do is add a new speaker. So I have a name, a Twitter, and a photo. And let's go over the mutation that is already created here. So I'm going to, that's not it. Queries, and I have the add speaker mutation here. Okay, so import GraphQL. And this has a name, a Twitter, and a photo URL. The reason this has a photo URL is because, like I said, this is just a variable. So you can use it in several things. For example, to actually publish an asset to GraphCMS, you need a file name, a handle, and a URL. And in this case, I can just pass the same thing to every single one of them. So the file name will be just the URL, and the handle will be the URL. The file name will be the name of the speaker. The handle will be the name. And the URL will be the photo URL. So you can, these are basically variables. You can also like hard code them, but I wanted to show that you can use these things in several places. So you can have a variable that is used in like 3 different places in your mutation. And you have name is equal to this name. That is mandatory. This is the only thing that is mandatory to actually create a speaker in the backend. So in here, it's the only thing that's mandatory as well. You have a Twitter that is equal to this Twitter, and you have is published true to be able to see it here and be actually published, which is a nice thing. So I'm just going to save. And now we have all of the speakers that are here, which is nice. OK, cool. So this is ordered by created at ascending. And I'm going to order by created at descending. Is it like this? Yeah. Who already added a person? Who was it? Somebody already added one. Yeah. Wait, what? Then got to change this in here. Created at ascending. Oh, because it's the first one. OK. So just to not confuse anyone, I'm going to put it in here. So there we go. OK, so now let's go and actually add a speaker. So in this case, for the form, so I have a form here for add speaker. I'm using Formic. So why am I using Formic? First of all, it's nice. Second of all, it keeps track of all your things like magically, basically. So if I type a speaker name, a Twitter, and a photo, and I click submit, this will give me just this. So this is actually what I need to be able to send it to the backend. Instead, like this photo is not photo, it's photo URL. But besides that, this is what I need. So Formic is a very nice thing that keeps all of that in the values. It has an handle change, it has an handle blur, and a handle submit that you just pass the things. And the handle submit is defined here, but we're actually not going to use this because we don't want this. We want to actually, when we submit, we mutate the actual thing. So let's do it like this. And now we're going to import the mutation component. Oh, this input field just has a label in the input because it got super huge. That's it. You can check the input field. So I'm going to import mutation. Yeah, there we go. From React Apollo. And I'm going to wrap this form in the mutation. So mutation. And I'm going to close it right at the bottom. There we go. And it's going to give me that weird error because we also need to pass it a mutation here. So mutation, we need to import it. So import add speaker from back. Damn it, it doesn't have auto-completion. I always forget that. So back queries add speaker.js. OK, cool. Oh, it's just this. Nice. Nice. Add speaker.js. Oh, you don't actually need the JS. I don't know why I added it. Nice. And so we pass this in here. And so the mutation is this mutation. And I'm just going to copy and paste the things that we have. So we have these three things that we need to pass. So we have these three things that we need to pass. OK. So now this works in the same way as the query component. So it actually, children needs to be a function. So let's create a function. And let's do this and this. And now let's copy this to the bottom of the form so that it stops complaining. And we get our form, which doesn't return anything. So we need to return the, dude, what are you doing? Just stop. Return. And now we get our normal form, which when we submit, it doesn't actually do anything. If I just fill in all of this, it reloads the page and says config.handleSubmit is not a function. Cool, because this doesn't exist. So let's delete this from here already. We don't need it. And what does this actually receive? Oh my God, dude, stop. There we go. OK, so what does this actually receive? This receives the function that is called here. In this case, it's called createSpeaker. People sometimes just call it mutate, for example, but you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it createSpeaker, and this is what we get here. So if I save, this is the only thing that we get. We don't need anything else in here. And so what we want to do is on submit, we want to call this function. So on submit, we're going to call a function that on submit, you get the event. So we want to also prevent default. Otherwise, it would reload the page. So we get E. And what we want to do here is we want to make this async, first of all. And then we want to e.target.value. E.target.value. Oh, my God. E.prevent default. What the fuck was that? OK. So let's just console.log the values that we get when we do the form. And I'm going to clean the console because it probably has a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Clear console. OK, cool. Fill in the speaker name. Oh, you got me milk. God bless you. Thank you. I don't know your alphabet. I'm sorry. I got weird milk. Like I put it in the microwave. Yeah, I eat my milk warm. That's another conversation. But I put it in the microwave, and it became like this weird gooey thing. So yeah, that was gross. I didn't eat it, but it looked gross. Yeah. So we get name, Twitter, and photo. So name and Twitter are exactly the same as we need to pass it. So how do we actually pass these things? So let's await create speaker function. Oh, wait. what did I, no, not create image bitmap. Create speaker, and in here, we can pass a bunch of stuff. The thing that we need to pass are the variables. And the variables are, so name is equal to values.name. Enter, exactly. Twitter is equal to values.twitter. Cool. No, yeah, cool. No, that's not a dot, that's a comma. And we have photo URL. Go down, down, there we go. Photo URL is equal to values.photo. If you actually name this photo URL, you could just like just spread over the values basically, which is what I wanted to show. So if I come here and I put the ID of photo URL and I change this to photo URL, so this ID is used for both name and ID. So now I come here and I can just spread over the values.
You can just pass values.
Yeah, like this, yeah. Oh yeah, not spread, you can just pass values. That works too, yeah. Both of the things work. So variable equals values in this case because we changed the name to be speaker photo URL. God damn it, that was hard. So now let's try and actually add this and see if we get any error and work around the error. I'm just assuming that we're gonna get it. Okay. Speaker Twitter, I'm just gonna add lol. And I'm actually gonna get photos. There we go. Copy image address. See, totally worked, the fact that I'm checking out the football game. And I submit. It's still submitting. It's actually still submitting. Oh, I didn't click it. Oh, no. Oh, god damn it. Oh, so we forgot to do one thing, which is actually like reset the fucking form when the person ends up submitting. And so when we end up submitting, let me get an endl reset so that we know we finished submitting, which is also a nice thing to do. Or you can just alert done, which is also cool, but don't do it. So endl resets, now I'm gonna add a thing. So, and I'm gonna add a speaker Twitter, and I'm gonna add this photo. I need to add another photo because it's unique. Copy image address. No, not here, here. I had the photo, and I submit, and it's submitted. But the thing is, like, if we come here, there's nothing, okay, the old one is, but the new one isn't here. And you're like, did it actually create it? If I reload the page, just reload this thing, and wait. Our loading is there. And I come here, it actually created. But this thing comes from the cache. So this is just a mutation, so we added it to the backend, and now we need to update the cache, which will be done after your mutation exercise. So does anyone have any questions about the mutation part?
It accepts only variables.
No, it accepts a whole bunch of stuff. Let me check. So mutation component. It's better if I just go to the docs and tell you what it accepts than be like, I think it accepts this.
During first launch, you noticed some little error. When you launch it for the first time, you fixed some little bug because speakers was not displayed.
Oh, because it said speaker sys.
Speakers?
Yeah, I said speaker sys. So you just got to write it properly in all places. Yeah. So you can also call no to do, updating the cache. No, I don't care. Random prompt function. So mutate. Okay, function trigger, you can optionally pass variables. Optimistic response, refetch queries, and update as an option. But all of these can also be passed in the mutation thing. All the things that you pass here, which actually the mutation receives mutation, the children, which was what we passed. The variables, so if you already have the variables, you can just pass them there as well. An update function, which is the thing that we're going to use to update the UI automatically. Ignore results. I don't know why you'd want. Optimistic response is, so what an that was a thing. So what an optimistic response is that when you click submit, it will automatically send that response to the cache and will assume that your submission went okay, basically. So you need an optimistic response and you need an update cache in order to do that. It will have no loadings. But the thing is, so if you try and like something on Twitter and you have no internet, you can see that it actually goes, the number goes up. But then, like a few seconds later, a few milliseconds later, it actually goes down. That's because it assumes that it assumes that it will work until it actually doesn't and it goes back. That's what an optimistic response is. Refetch queries. Uncompleted, this is a callback to once your mutation successfully completes, which is nice. On error and the context. The render prop function gets data. It also gets loading, which is very nice. So if the mutation is loading, you can actually check. It gets the error. It gets a boolean if you called it, and it gets the client. The client is the way that the Apollo team calls the cache. I don't know why. But this is all that it gets, and it gets a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, fuck's sake. Does anyone else have any questions? Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about how the fuck Argentina just scored? Any questions about the mutation component? No? Okay, so you have an exercise. What is that? Oh, there's no end to this exercise because I live on the edge. Okay, so the thing is, yours will add a video instead of adding a field, a speaker, sorry. And you already have the query here. Where's it actually click that thing? Milk. Oh, there we go. So, function create video will get a name and a link. That's the only two things that you need to pass. This link is the video ID. So if you go on YouTube, the thing after the V is the video ID. And so you need the name and the link, that's it. And then in here, in the add video, you need to create a mutation component, import that mutation, and do your thing. Cool? Anyone have any questions about this exercise?
What number is this? 1.1?
This is, yeah, 1.1, yeah. It's the one that doesn't have an N for some reason. Then I put this at 50, and if you need more time, that's fine, because it's not that easy to do. There we go. Okay, so we have this add video. We need a name and a link. So let's come here, and let me, yeah. So let me fork this, fork your own sandbox. And so all the things that we need to touch are in the add video component. So in here, first of all, we don't need this, so I'm just going to change this for handle reset. Reset. And now I'm going to import the mutation component and the actual mutation. So import mutation from, yeah, so like this, and queries. Let me check queries and add video.
So the mutation is that video.
No, okay, yeah. You are incredibly correct in this. Okay. I've been doing this for a good couple of hours, so. And import mutation from React Apollo. Oh, this is trash. We don't care. React. Okay, cool. So now let's wrap this in a mutation and pass that mutation, which is add video. Add video, close this, and create the child function. Not like that, but like this. And so you can actually just return it like this, because this is a default return, the form, which is OK. So let's just get this and put it at the bottom. So after the form, we can close this and close the mutation. And that's it. And in here, we get the, what do we get? What's the name of the function? We get the create video function. Goes. Create video. So let me come here and get the create video. And in here, we're not going to handle submit. We're going to call a function with the E. And what we're going to do is, first of all, this is an async function. So that's cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to first E that prevent default, so that it doesn't reload the page. And then we got to await create video, and do this, and pass the variables as the values that we get from formic. This is why formic is nice. So after this is done, we want to end a reset. And I think this, in theory, it should work. I don't know if it, oh my God, what the fuck? Okay, so I'm just going to get this YouTube ID, and I'm going to give it a name, and put this link, and I hit submit. And now I need to reload the page. Like I told you, we're not updating the cache. And if I say created at descending, it should be the first. Yes! OK, by the way, there's an actual add form thing in here. So if you go to the actual website that this data is from, there's an add talk thing, which is like enter the title and the YouTube link. And like this is an actual YouTube link, so you just copy and paste the YouTube entire link. And like, why do you love this talk? This is not mandatory, which you can actually add talks to this website. So that would be actually pretty great, so that I don't have to do it. Thank you. Thank you for your time. OK, does anyone have any questions? What the fuck? Oh, OK, there we go.
The problem with refreshing the page would solve with optimistic response, yeah?
So what we're going to do is we're going to use the update function. That's the latest thing. It's the thing that we're going to talk about afterwards, and it's the latest one. Also, please save this exercise, because this is the one that you're going to use for the update UI in your exercise. OK? Is that OK? Cool? 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 There's an end here. Yeah, you don't have to save it. There's like an exercise. Oh, no, there's only a start. Am I just going to, like copy this over to the README? So that what the fuck did I do? Y'all need to chill. Does anyone have any questions about the mutations? Yes? No? OK. You have to say no. Otherwise, I'll just keep waiting for like 20 minutes. I'll just stand here like, does anyone have any questions? Cool. Thank you. OK, so here is the and also the update UI exercise. So it's 2.1. And I'm going to say update. It's the same. Update UI exercise. And it's this. OK, cool. So I'm just going to commit this. If you reload the page here, you should have the new things. OK, so now updating the UI. So what we're going to do is actually touch on caches, because caching is super easy, right? Everyone loves caching. Caching is great. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually update the cache. OK, so let me just open this in here at speaker. There we go. Fuck this. I don't need this. Go out. Go away. There we go. OK, cool. Components at speaker. This is the only file that we're going to touch. Also, so now I can come here. So now I can add speakers. OK, cool. So I'm going to cool. And submit, and a unique constructor. Wow. Wow. Should I clean this? Probably. And if I reload this, and should I create it at descending, I should get my thing first, exactly. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but when I clicked, it said submitting. This is because you also get a loading here as the second parameter of this function. Of the child function of the mutation is like the state. I don't know how to really call it, but you get the loading and the error there. So in here, in the button, I have a floating, show submitting. If it's not loading, show submit. That's it. This is actually still here, but it doesn't have to be. OK, so now what we're going to do is we're going to actually use this. We're going to update the cache that we have on Apollo. So the first thing that I'm going to do is the same thing that I did in the other one, which is change this order first. So order at descending. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. This select?
No. The value of the select. This state for the byte.
No, it is changed.
One line in
No, but this is okay. Because the value is created at the sending now.
For the byte, the state value.
What?
This
Oh yeah, what the fuck? How is this working? Huh.
it's not working.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is now. Sorry. So what I did was that I fixed, so this at this.state.value, and it's supposed to be this.state.orderby, and I also changed this to create it ascending so that when we update our UI, it'll be automatically here, like we can see it real fast. Okay, so let's update our UI. So the mutation function gets the mutation component gets a function called update. Let me just do this. I don't know why this is taking so long. There we go. Gets a function called update. And yeah, so let me come here and pass update in lowercase, yes. And to here, we're going to, like, this is not a two-line function, so I'm going to call it in another one and just define it up there. So this is update. Nice. OK, so I need to create the update function. So const update. So what are the parameters that this actually gets? So this gets the cache, not the data, the cache. So this is everything that React Apollo has on local, on your local machine. Everything that you already got from the internet, basically. So you get the cache, and then you deconstruct it out of like the other things. You deconstruct the data, and you return something. OK, cool. So there is no error. Nice. OK, so this data, what we want is the all speakers. Where is that? So create speaker. OK, so if you go to the speakers, we have this thing. So I'm going to export this first, and you'll see why. So what we want is this all speakers. And this is what we're going to get from the data. Wait, no, never mind. That was pretty dumb. What we want from the data is what we created. OK. OK, so let's go over this again so that I don't like screw up again. OK, so we created an update function that is unexpected token. Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. So I created an update function, and I call it upstairs. And this gets a bunch of parameters. But the ones that we care about are the first one is the cache, and the second one is where our data is. So our data is what we sent to the the result of our mutation, what we got back from our mutation. So this gets a whole bunch of stuff like the status and everything, but all we care about is the data. And inside of the data, there's the create speakers, which is the function that we called, basically. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Does that make sense? It's this function. Yeah? OK, cool. Let me just check over this again, because I don't think add speaker. Create speaker. Yeah, this is add speaker. This is, yeah, so I called it create speakers here, but it's actually create speaker, but it works anyway there. There we go. Just remove S's when you find them. OK. OK, so now we need to, first we need to understand how the cache works and what we actually have. So what we can do, we need to understand what we can do with a cache. So one thing that we can do with a cache is that we can read data from it. And we can read data from the cache the same way we read data from the server. So we need to pass it we need to pass it the query that we want to read from the cache. And that query is the one that we're reading here. That's why in this part, that's why I exported it out of the other file. So this is why you should use it in different files, basically. You should have a queries folder and then put the files in there. And so I'll go back to this. So I'm going to say const data. And this client, which we named cache, has a function called read data. Read query, sorry. So it has a function called read query. And in here, you basically pass all the things that you need in order for this to read the query. So what do you need? You need the actual query. So query, it will be imported from the speakers thing. So I'm going to import all speakers from, I'm going to go back. And am I going to go back, though? I don't think I'm going to go back. I'm not going to go back. And I get speakers.js. And this is because I exported it here. So export const all speakers. And now in here, I can actually get it. So the query is this. So we pass in the query like this. And I'm going to continue like this, knowing that it's actually going to give me an error. But I'm going to do it anyway, OK? OK. So what do we want to do to this? We want to write a query here. So we want to write the exact same query that we were executing to the cache with the new data that we got. Does that make sense? So we get this data that basically what we want to do is write the same query that we got, but with new data. So it will update the cache like that. It's like we're writing new data, but we need to tell it to which query we want to write that new data. It attaches it to the query, basically, to each query that we do. So I can call, so out of this, we actually just want all speakers. So I can delete this data and just do this, which is nicer. But in my opinion, you cannot do this. That's fine. That's, I'm judge. Next, OK, so we want to call cache that read query. Now write query. Damn it. Write query. QWERTY. OK, so what does this take? This, like the other one, it receives the query. So I can just copy this from here, because the query is the same. And this also receives the data. This is what is in the cache. This is what is in the cache of the, this is what's in the cache, basically, for this query. So, and this is what we want to write to. OK, so what we can do is we say data. Okay, I'm just going to write it, and I'll explain. And data has a property called all speakers. All speakers. And this all speakers property, what we want to do is say all this thing that concat, and we want to concat what we received. OK, OK, so let's go over this again, because this thing is very fucking confusing. OK, we want to concat it like this, first of all, because it's a thing. How we do? Create speaker? No, this is the data that we get. I'll console.log everything. OK, so yeah, let's start with that. Let's start by console.log. This creates speakers. This will probably give me an error before the console.log, but let's check. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to submit. Create speaker is not. I got it. I got it. I got it. I promise. There we go. I should clean this database. OK. OK, so as you can see, this gives me an error here. And it's really small, but it says, cannot find query all speakers. Filter is published true on object root query. This is because we're passing more variables into this. So what variables are defined here? Like, for example, in here, we're passing the variable. Where is this? Input, speakers. There we go. We're passing the variable order by. So whatever we passed in here, we need to pass it in there as well. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Whatever we pass it as, yeah, OK. OK, cool. So this also, get out. Wait, can I, let me just come here for a second. Yeah, it's published true. OK, cool. So if I come here, in these two things, I also need to pass variables. So the default variable is let me go there again and get the thing that we're using. Created at descending. So if you're actually doing this on a real project, I would tell you to like put the order by in the store basically, and it will be updated in here as well. I'm just copying and pasting it, but it should be done like that. OK, so this will get also the variables. And the variables will be, let me close this so we have more space. So the variables, dude, stop, will be ordered by, and that will be equal to this. So created at descending. And I'm also going to copy this in here. And now let's try it again. Unexpected token. That's because I forgot this. Nice. Good. Gluten tag. And speaker photo. And I submit. And it didn't give me an error, but it sent me the object of the create speaker. And the object of the create speaker is exactly what we created. That's why this is the thing that it's in here. Out of the data, what we get is what we created. That's why it's a good practice to return what you created or what you deleted, because you may want to update the cache. And if you want to update the cache, you need this. That's why. It's all. You got you, fam. OK, so you get the name, you get the ID, you get the Twitter, and this type name is done automatically by Apollo as a way to keep hold of what the fuck you're doing, basically. Of like, what is this? So it doesn't, so if you have speakers and videos, it doesn't confuse the both of them and keeps them in separate things. It uses the type name that is done by them automatically. But if you use the Apollo link state for local management, you need to do that manually. Okay, so this is what we get. And what the fuck is this? So we get the cache, and out of the cache, we can't just say like, cache that all speakers, for example. Because the cache is in a very particular way that is done with like, it's serialized, it has IDs that do not match what we have. It's a very different way. But the cache supports you querying the cache. So what you do is you actually read a query from the cache, like you would read from the server, but instead of reading it from the server, you read it from the cache. So you say like cache.read query, and you pass it the query and the variables that you want to read from it. And it will return you exactly, if it's in the cache, it will return you exactly that. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's in memory cache. Or also if you use like persistent queries and save them in local storage, it's also in local storage. So it's both. And then you can also write queries to this. So what you do when you write a query is that you need to pass the queries and the variables, and then this data is what you want to write to that query. This is not the entire cache. This is just to the result of this query. So you want to change the result, what the fuck? The result? Result? I don't care. The result, yes, yes. The result of this query, and in here, you only care about the all speakers, and what you want to do is a normal array thing, which you just concat the new one to all the things that you had. Does this make sense? Kinda? Yeah, go.
Regarding the order, we have descending sorting here, but we are pushing create new speaker at the end of the array.
Yeah, it's going to be at the end. You can put it at the first thing. So you can do something like,
if we change the order, we should check which sorting is selected and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you use this in a project, you should have this, the order that you're changing the things be in a global state.
no, I mean about this. I'm talking about when we are updating all speakers with new value, we should respect the current order to insert the new item in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. So this is the order that you're ordering all the speakers by. This is why we're passing it as a variable. So the problem right now with this thing is that since I don't have any global state, if I change this, it will query for this instead of querying for the other one.
You're asking about concat, I think.
What?
We are concatting, so we are preserve the order.
Yeah. Yeah, we're preserving the, wait, no, I mean, we're not preserving the order. I mean, oh yeah, we're doing the opposite. The point, the only reason I changed the order is that so that we can see it. That's it. No, I don't. Okay, the thing is, the order doesn't matter. I'll explain. Okay, so let me just do something. The order doesn't matter, because if I change this to this, and I try to add something, it will delete everything from the cache. So that order is right now completely worthless. So if I submit, everything is deleted. So this order is completely useless. So what you can do is that you can say all speakers, for example, which is the thing at the top, and then the thing that you added, which is create speaker, and create speaker.
But this will do not destruct it.
This doesn't, the order really doesn't matter. The only reason the order is here is because we pass it as a parameter.
But this new speaker will be displayed at the end of the
Yeah, because we set it like this. Okay, wait, let me just create one. And if I submit, and go to the bottom of the thing, it's here. But you can do this the other way around. So I can put this in here. And now if I create one, which is what you should do, by the way, and I submit, it puts it in here. The order that you set in here doesn't matter. This is just for the query.
I understand.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking that in this all speakers new array, new data, we should take the current order and update and sort this new all speakers array to look correct.
So in this case, it actually does, because it's created at ascending, but you should do that, yeah. So if you have created at ascending, you should concat this at the bottom. And if you have created at ascending, you should concat this at the top. Not concat, you should prepend this. If you have by name, you can also sort it, because it's a normal array. So you shouldn't, yeah? Okay, done, cool. I'm sold. Why am I doing this? This doesn't make any sense, because this is an object. Oh, because I don't need all the things. No, that's true. I can just do this and do this. Okay. So I'm going to add another one. And it works. So this, anyone have any questions about this? This is very confusing. Yeah?
Just only to specify, we use here variables only because that query that was made before all speakers needed variable, yes?
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah.
If there are no variables, we do not.
Yeah. I'll remove the variable just for you to see that it doesn't. So if I come here to speakers and I remove this order by, so I get it out of here. Oh, one thing, you can do this, it will give you an error. This is a syntax error in GraphQL. So if there's nothing to pass, you gotta just remove it. And videos ordered by, I'm just gonna copy this over here. And this is gonna be equal to created at ascending. And now if I come to the add speaker and remove the variables from here and from here, well, thanks. Thanks, Code Sandbox. That was nice. And wait, okay. And I do this. What? I submit, and it still works. This is only because we pass it as a variable in the other thing. That's why I use the variables to let you know that if you pass in some variables, just passing a normal query won't work. Any other questions about this? Does it kind of make sense what we're doing? Because it's kind of weird that we're reading queries from a cache, from an object that is in your computer, but it's the way they work. Cool? Okay, so now I'm just going to come to GitHub, and I'm going to fix your exercise because of the create speaker. GraphQL workshop. Oh, no, I think your exercise was Play UI exercise. Yeah, so the only thing that actually needs to be changed is, oh, this is called create, oh, it's already fixed in yours. God damn it. So the thing that I've been doing is, like, yesterday I was fixing up all the names instead of being like all speakers to be all speakers, because that shit was dumb. And forgot to update a couple of them. So this is fine. Okay. So yeah, what you want to do is the exact same thing that I did, but for the videos. And if you have any questions, let me know. Also, go to the documentation from the Apollo client. They have really good documentation about this. And just remember that you need to read the query that you're using here, all videos, you need to read this query with the order by. You can pass anything to the order by. It really doesn't matter. But you need that variable to be there. Otherwise, it'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? It doesn't know what it is. You need to pass something that exists. You can't pass just lol or something. You can't. It just doesn't work. And then you need to write a query with the same thing. Cool? Cool? If you get into too much trouble, you can delete this variable, and that's fine. Don't worry. But this is already being exported. So you need to import with the double thingies there. So I'm just going to, God damn it, Argentina. They're still going to fucking win. I'm going to be pissed. On the one hand, like, I don't think I can lose in this. OK, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and just do the exercise. OK, so videos. I'm already exporting this all videos, which is not in uppercase. So let me fix my OCD. There we go. So, and I need to change it in here. There we go. OK, so let's come here to the file editor, and let's go to the add video. And first thing that we need to do is import this thing. So import all videos from, and this is from speakers.
No videos?
Hmm?
Videos.
I've been doing this since. Thank you. Other thing, yeah. Change, yeah. Okay, so then we need to pass an update function, and update function is going to be just our update function. Okay, cool. And this update function doesn't exist, that's why it's complaining. So const update is equal to a function that will return something. Amazing. And in here, we get the first parameter, that is the cache. And then we can deconstruct the data. And out of it, we can actually get just a create video, which is what we just created. Not like this, but like this. Amazing. Okay, so what is the first thing we need to do here? I'm really hammering at this because like this got me really, what the fuck, for a long time. What's the first thing we need to do here? Okay, cool. So const, and I'm just gonna deconstruct all videos already. Wait, all videos, cool. So const all videos equals cache, that read query. That read query. And in here, we need to pass the query, which is this, all videos. And we also need to pass the variables, which are in here, which is created at ascending. Oh, wait. I can just copy this. Okay, so variables is equal to this. Cool, and this will return us all the videos that are in the cache, presumably. And now we have to do what? Thank you. Such a dick way of doing things. So cache, the write query, with formic, write query, and same two things we need to pass. And now you're wondering, can we move this to another place? Yes, and please, you should. And now we need to pass it the data. And in the data, I'm going to do this. And just to show it in first place, I'm going to put create video, which is an object with the new things. And then I'm going to pass all videos. And theoretically, this should work. So let's try it. So let me go on YouTube. And just, oh my God, this is amazing. Wait, you guys need to check this out as well. Not now. I'm just going to open the page so I can stop the sound. There you go. No, this is great. Oh my God, there's speakers here. Okay, cool. Nice. Next thing. What was the next thing? Oh, link. And here I'm going to pass, you give rise the bad name. Wait. The thing is that the order doesn't really matter. It will just be first, but it should be descending. So I'll change this to descending. So, and also change this to descending. And also change this to descending. Cool.
Shouldn't be data an object with all videos?
The all videos are here.
The key of
Data is an object or is
See? This was on purpose. Yeah, it is. You're right. Sorry about that. See? I am teaching you guys well. Better than me. Okay, so now I need to get like the thing again. Is this the ID? Probably is. Okay, so no, back. No, not that, here. Okay, so now I'm going to go, you give rest a bad name. And if I submit, yes. And there you go. You give rest a bad name. It's there. So now I'm going to play this because this is perfect. Does anyone have any questions about this? No? No? We're good? Okay. Yeah. Wait. You guys need to see this. This is... Oh, come on. The sound of... is that not there then? Wait, no. This is something. Wait. Where is this even playing? The lyrics will be here. That's why this is here. So now that you know that this video is a thing, your life will be way happier after this. This guy has a ton of videos.